you guys, up first, Vas Sanchez. Yeah. Here is his performer bio. Wise in the ways of the Force this one is. Vas Sanchez has trained in the cantinas of Mos Eisley and has made it as far as the big rooms on Coruscant and still can't manage to do a full comedy set in under 12 parsecs. Aww. Ladies and gentlemen of Seeing Missing, please give it up for Vas Sanchez! Yay!
All right. Give me a second to set the stage. Need this for my beer. Fuck this stand. What's up? Are you guys totally fucking stoked to be here right now? Yeah. Me too. Isn't it the best to see that shit again? Yeah. Like, tell me you guys don't fucking love that shit. Like, if that shit comes on, you put that shit on, and you're literally like, oh my god, I'm home. Like, I'm home. Love it. Love it. So this is the best Jedi costume I could come up with. Because there are no such thing as fat Jedis anywhere in any galaxy. I don't care how far the fuck away it is. I tried really hard for months to find something with 3 X's in front of it, not porn. And this is... I did what I think all of us kind of had to do when we were kids. And that's just go grab your dad's bathrobe and use your fucking imagination. And here we are. Literally, guys, this is my dad's bathrobe. He was a much slimmer individual. This is as far as closed as it'll go. So I thought I need to fill in the gaps, so I went to Target and got a cool shirt. And it feels awesome. New shirt, man, right off the rack and on my back, and it's killer. How's everybody doing tonight? We good? It is so awesome to have you guys here tonight, man. You guys don't even know what kind of show we've got coming for you, man. This is so good. So let's get into it. Prequel people, any in here? Good. Hoods off. Just wanted to make sure. We're not going to get into that shit. Where were we? Awesome. Okay, guys. So Dad's robe. Let's talk about my dad for a minute. My dad was like Puss in Boots meets Scarface. Okay, he was Puerto Rican. And he was one of those. You guys grew up with those dads that like watch a movie with you and totally side with the bad guy because they just want to be like prick dads. That was my dad. Like I was literally watching this shit with him. And it's like, join me and we'll do all the cool shit for power and darkness. And I'm literally like, no! And then he's like, no! And I'm like, yeah! And my dad's like, but why the fuck would you not? Because this guy has got all the power. Don't you want to join the dark side? Who cares if he's dark or he's light? He's got all the power. I was like, no, Pop, he's the bad guy. He's like, did you see him choke the fuck out of somebody? He choked the fuck out of somebody. He doesn't even know where the fuck that guy is. He's looking in the screen. He's saying, hey, fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Terrified at this moment. Not of Darth anymore, but now my dad. Who has some sort of weird choke fantasy. Like that was his dream. Like if I could choke the fuck out of my boss from 900 miles away, I would do it. Like, that's awesome. Later on, I figured. At present, I was like, what the fuck? No, you can't be on Darth Vader's side, man! That was my whole life, growing up. He was that guy, And then, there were moments later where he would, watch the sequences of fighting, And he was like, hey, that's why they call it a lifesaver. Now, for those of you who are white, this is what happens when the language barrier just fucks shit up. A lifesaver. I was like, no, it's not a lifesaver. It's a saber made of light. No, son. It is the tool he is using to save his life. It is a lifesaver. Lifesavers are candy. It's a lightsaber. And then he does that thing where he tries to tell you that you're an idiot. You know, he's like, oh, I was just fucking with you, son. What do you think, I'm a fucking idiot? I don't know, it's a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber. Le sabre la luz. I'm like, there's no word in Spanish. You can't do that. You can't sabre la luz on the fucking lightsaber. It's a fucking lightsaber. If you're watching it with fucking teleprompting, it says lightsaber, not sabre la luz. Nobody's saying sabre la luz. They're saying lightsaber. Ass hat. I love you, Pop. Wearing this robe for you. Moving right along. So, that was my childhood. We'll talk about some more childhood. I'm babysitting this kid, right? I work with some amazing people who have amazing children. We're all adults in this crazy service industry. We all work in bartending and serving. So this lady's got this awesome kid who, at the age of 6, is so kick-ass. Like one day we're on the playground, and this kid, I'm watching him, like all these other kids, and these kids come up, and one little boy, who I think this is completely progressive, walks up and goes, "Let's play princesses." And he goes, "Let's play Breaking Bad." And I was like, whoa, she's gonna get real. We're watching him play one day, and this kid, we're at this like giant hippie farm thing. We're doing this like food and farm to table thing, and it's great. And there's this hippie that comes in the kitchen with like tons of plates, and then this kid, Finian, and like Finn is the new character in the movie, so I'm excited to take this kid to the movie because he's gonna fucking lose his shit. But Finn, he looks at this dude, and this is Finn's big thing. He looks at you and he goes, and you, all of you know what that means. You gotta fucking die. Like, you gotta go down. And this hippie walks in the room. I'm washing dishes. This hippie walks in with all these plates, and Finn goes. And this hippie goes, "What's he doing, man?" And I'm like, "No, dude, you gotta, that's it. You're dead. You're dead." And he was like, "Dead, bro." What? I'm like, "You have to die. His imagination is in the crux here. Like, if you don't fucking die, the fuck? Die!" And he's like, "Death's so intense, bro." He drops all the plates off, kneels down, and he's like, "Hey, man, you shouldn't be so intense, bro. Don't worry about death, bro." This is why I love Finian. That kid literally goes, "Avada Kedavra!" And I was like, whoa! Star Wars Harry Potter crossover! Coolest thing I've ever fucking seen! I never thought when I was young to cross over 2 genres. Like, how cool would like the Sword of Omen be if it was a lightsaber? Right? Now let's not delve too far into our fucking awesome childhoods. This kid's got Harry Potter and lightsabers and shit. We've got Thundercats. That's another show, Jason. Write it down. What else here? What else? It literally says here, Finian chokes a hippie. It was real. It's the best. Every time that kid comes in the restaurant, he looks at me and goes, "Hey, Mr. Voss." I'm like, "Hey, Finian." And I gotta go in public, and I do it for him because I love that kid. I died in a froyo once for that kid. I died in a froyo. I took some force lightning right to the face. I was babysitting that kid one time in the park, and I pulled out my Star Wars app in my phone and put it on my fucking Beats pill and cranked that thing up, and that sound hit, and 18 kids lost their fucking minds. And I was happy because I was worried that this was dead. You know, I was worried that these kids wouldn't grow up with the idea of a lightsaber and the Force. So it was good to see. All right, where are we at here? Getting too sentimental. Let's talk about some science real quick in the Star Wars universe. What the fuck happened to purple lightsabers? So Mace Windu shows up, prequels. Mace Windu shows up and he's like, "I'm gonna have a purple lightsaber." And George Lucas is like, "Okay." And then in the future, it's like, I guess since there's no more black Jedis, we don't have to put rims on our cars anymore, you know what I mean? Everybody in here is feeling pretty sensitive. But you feel me. I think we've all had enough of the purple lightsaber. Bunch of garbage. Who built the fucking Death Star? Who built that thing? there are more holes and shit to fall in across that entire giant thing. It's huge. It's like the size of a planet. And there are walkways across holes. Who thought of that? What guy was like, put the walkway right here. It's going to be way easier than walking around. Just way easier. Just put it right here. Don't know. Handrails? That's stupid. Don't put handrails on it. If you put handrails on it, someone might catch themselves. I'm going to make sure if they're going to come out here, they take the risk. Every time I watched that scene, I was like, where was he going? You know that moment in a scary movie when they keep going up the house instead of out the house? It was like Luke was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay. Took my hand. I don't know what this is at all. Spoiler alert, I think that's the moment that Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, becomes Kylo Ren. Everybody put that shit in your noggin. Did you see his face before he fell? He was like, join me. We'll organize this shit. We'll end this shit. It won't be so bad. He does this moment where he's not like, fuck you. He's like, nah. I love Vader too. Vader's like, oh. Do you know where that goes? Me either. Where does that go? I feel like there's like this weird gravity pocket in the center of the Death Star where everyone who's got thrown or fallen down a hole is just there. They're all just like, oh, hey, here comes a new guy. And like at some point, here comes this like electrocuted old man that just, and they're like, whoa, ooh, weird. Is that Senator Palpatine? Weird. Get him away from me. I don't feel like there's any gravity in there. All right, last thing I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Let's talk about the bullshit that is the prequels. Let's really get into it. I was at the movies one time. There was this kid in the audience, and he'd clearly seen all the films. And we're sitting there, we're getting through it, we're having a great time, and it's that moment where she's having both the babies, and the kid comes out, and that weird robot goes, I know, and the little translation says, Luke. And then the fucking robot comes back and it's like, and then it says Leia. And the kid, before the pop-up comes, he goes, Leia. I was like, hey, you saw the prequels, the originals? He's like, yeah. I was like, so you knew that they were brother and sister. Stop faking the surprise, you stupid. Leia. No shit, it's like, who'd you think it was gonna be? Anakin Jr., twin brothers? Qui-Gon Jinn. The fuck? Was Liam Neeson walking by the set that day? He was just walking by. I just filmed Taken 2. Way before. Walking by and they're like, hey, real quick, hey, do you want a part? He was like, nah. We were like, come on, it'll be fun. I'm gonna name you, somebody give me 3 syllables, quick. Qui-Gon Jinn, Qui-Gon Jinn. Put your fucking man bun, 10 lines, you're gonna crush it. All right. Never existed. Why? I never heard of Qui-Gon Jinn. Ewoks. And this is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. Can you guys picture George Lucas sitting in his little director's chair? 3rd film, fucking Gary Kurtz has been in his ass for 2 films now, like, what the fuck? It's Wookiees! You Wookiees! And he's like, no. No. I want teddy bears. Gary Kurtz is like, they're not threatening. They'll throw things. Like what? Like bolos and stones, Gary? I don't know. They can do things. Great. Is it because you bought 300 Teddy Ruxpins and you don't know what to do with those? Yeah. Fuck off, Gary. And then we have fucking Ewoks. I got upset. I'm sorry. Because Ewoks aren't Wookiees, and that's what we needed to see. We need to see the Wookiee story. Guys, that has been my time, well over my time, and that's what I do. Keep it going for the rest of the show. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Danny, hurry, where you at, baby? gathered in this fancy basement to talk about a random space movie made 40 years ago. Well, that seems like a weird-ass thing to do. Well, it's not Plan 9 from outer space. It has nothing to do with killer clowns. It's motherfucking Star Wars. It's motherfucking Star Wars.